Hi, everybody. It's Melissa from Gilda's Club. We hope that you're doing well today and hoping you're getting outside. I always like to talk about the weather and I always encourage people to get outside. So please, I hope you do. It's supposed to be like close to 60 today and it's awesome. It feels good out there. But hope you're feeling good and gearing up for the end of the school year, end of the winter time and heading into summer and thinking about that. And you can see here today, I am actually at the clubhouse. I'm in Noogie Land. It's a pretty cool place, a fun place for kids to play and hang out and talk about their feelings and talk about what's going on. So if you're new to this, to Gilda's Club or to a grief or cancer journey, and you'd like to learn more about what Gilda's Club is and how to get connected with our free cancer and grief support community, please give us a call at 453-8300 or look on our website, gildasclubgr.org. And then if you're watching today or you're watching later and you like this stuff, give us a thumbs up. And if you think it's helpful and you want to share it, please share away. And we also are recording this, so it'll be on our YouTube channel, it'll be on our website under our archives, and you'll be able to access this information at any time you want. We've got lots of archived programs. So today is a family focus workshop, and we're celebrating a couple of things today. First of all, we're celebrating 20 years of Gilda's Club. It's hard to believe we've been around 20 years. It's so exciting. We just had our big gala last night. Justin Willem came for that, and it was a delight. We had so much fun. And today, Laugh Fest starts, and you wonder, what's Laugh Fest? Well, we know that part of our emotional health is talking about those tough stuff, talking about our feelings. And we truly believe here at Gilda's that talking about your difficult things helps you to get to your joy, helps you to get to a place that feels good, that feels like healing. And also connecting with other people who understand where you're at also sometimes can really help put a smile on your face and lift your mood, your heart, your soul. So we have Laugh Fest, and it's a 4-day celebration. It's our 12th year. And we bring it at a time at a time in the year where it's a little bit hard to smile sometimes because we're just getting done with winter and just a little bit probably feeling the winter blues. And also that we just want to bring that idea of emotional health to the forefront and laughing for the health of it, we call it. So I have a special guest with me today to help me do this. And this is Suzanne. Everybody say hi, Suzanne. And it's so good to have you with us, Suzanne Butler Litch. I said it correctly. I'm so proud of myself. And she is a retired art teacher in the Northview school system. And she has been a dedicated volunteer with us for about 6 years. I personally could not do my job without her. She helps me stay organized. She gets all of the crafts ready and comes up with ideas for our school program, for our regular program here, and for our special events. You should have seen these ornaments that she came up with one year. We made the most adorable little cake ornaments for our holiday party once. That was just amazing. She also has been on a committee with Laugh Fest. It's called the What Makes You Smile Committee for about 3 years. And she helped develop the current program and she helped write the curriculum. So she's here and we're going to talk about that and hopefully inspire you to do something about that today. So welcome, Suzanne. It's great to have you with us.
Oh, I'm glad to be with you.
Yeah, I forgot 2 things. She's a mother of 3 and a grandmother, oh, 2,
Mother of
and a
two,
grandmother of 4,
4. Yeah, girls.
and she's an artist and a lover of figuring things out. She's amazing with what do you call that measuring, tool. And like having an issue, she's like on it. I'm going to figure it out. So anyway, so I wanted to say that. So I'm glad I remembered. Anyway, so welcome again, Suzanne.
Thank you. Sure. You keep me on my toes.
Oh, that's good. I certainly can give you quite a few things to do, can I?
Yes.
Yeah.
You come up with the ideas and then I have to figure them out.
It's perfect that way. I love that. We're a good team.
Yeah.
So we have this great book to read, and then we're going to talk about the What Makes You Smile program. And some of you may have seen this logo before. It's the Laugh Fest logo. And you may have even done this program before, but we do it every year and we want to encourage everyone, even adults, to get involved. So we have this great book called Augustus Finds His Smile. Oh, and his smile. I always get that wrong. And Suzanne is going to read it to us, and then we'll tell you about the other thing. So you ready, Suzanne?
Yep, I'm ready. Yeah.
All
So
right.
this is Augustus and His Smile by Catherine Rayner. And Augustus, the tiger, was sad. He'd lost his smile. So he did a huge tigery stretch and set off to find it. First, he crept under a cluster of bushes. He found a small, shiny beetle, but he couldn't see his smile. I want you to notice if his smiles changed during the book. Then he climbed to the tops of the tallest trees. He found birds that chirped and called, but he couldn't find his smile. Further and further, Augustus searched. He scaled the crests of the highest mountains where the snow clouds swirled, making frost patterns in the freezing air. The illustrator also gave some hints on smiles in here. Maybe you can, throughout the book, maybe you can find some of those as we could keep reading. He swam to the bottom of the deepest ocean and splashed with shoals of tiny, shiny fish. He pranced and paraded through the largest desert, making shadow shapes in the sun. Augustus padded further and further through shifting sand until pitter, patter, drip, drop, plop. Augustus danced and raced as raindrops bounced and flew. He splashed through puddles bigger and deeper. He raced toward a huge silver blue puddle and saw there, under his nose, his smile. And Augustus realized that his smile would be there wherever he was happy. He only had to swim with the fish, or dance in the puddles, or climb the mountains and look at the world, for happiness was everywhere around him. Augustus was so happy, he hopped and skipped and jumped away smiling.
That was awesome.
I love this book. This book is like I had said this to you. I wish I'd had this book when I was teaching, because it incorporates so much, not only the illustrations and the way the illustrator told the story along with the words, and all those little hints of smiles, like the curve of the tail. And then did you notice that his smile increased as the book went on? And then one of the biggest things that I like about it is that it really highlights those small moments You know, when we think about happiness, we feel like we have to have something really exciting happen to us. You know, like with especially young kids, when I would do a lesson similar to this, you know, they would think about Disney World, whereas it's really those small, special moments that I think carry you lifetime and are really almost more important.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that too. In that he could just tap into the natural world around him.
Yeah.
And so there were things already in his environment that
Yeah, it's
brought
just
him
being
joy.
aware. Yeah. It's taking that moment and being aware. You know, the old phrase, you know, stop and smell the roses. You know,
Right.
are we really being mindful of what is wonderful around us? And it could be something
Yeah.
really small.
Right. It could be sometimes, I love to sit in a room at my house and just watch the sun come in the window.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like to me, that is just such pure joy.
Yeah.
And and things like that, or your animal at home, or what, tell us something. You told me something the
Oh,
other
well,
day that was
I
such a
was with
great.
my grandchildren yesterday, three of them, and they didn't have school. And so I asked them to, you know, I always have to take art projects. And I asked them to, we read the book, and then I asked them to draw a picture of something that made them smile. And my one granddaughter, she drew a picture of her cat sitting in the windowsill. And
Nice.
yeah, which was just really sweet and you know, touching, because she's had lots of big moments in her life, but this was something special, you know, small.
Yeah, that she could tap into that joy every day
Yes.
with
Yes.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
And
sometimes
appreciate it.
and appreciate it. And just sometimes opening to that, especially when we're going through a tough stuff time, it can help us balance those deeper, sadder, rougher times with,
Hmm.
oh, there is also still joy in my life. There is
Hmm.
still these moments of fun, of excitement, of laughter, or just a quiet joy
Hmm.
or happiness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it could be a memory too. This morning, when I got onto Facebook, you know, your memories come up on it, and the memory
Yeah.
that popped up on mine was my oldest grandchild when she was 4. I caught her in her bedroom performing Frozen, and I had taped it, and she's singing away and dancing around, and the expression, she didn't stop when I came into the room and was filming her, but
All
you know,
right.
remembering those little milestones, you know, little precious times with other people or even in your own life. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love that. I love that. And sometimes we have to be more, let's say, hands-on about helping ourselves get to a place, not toxic positivity, not pulling us up by the bootstraps, but in moments where I do this before I go to bed, I'm intentional about what kind of information I'm processing in my head before I go to sleep. Because if I'm watching the news or I'm reading something really tough before I go to sleep, I'm dreaming about it. I'm not sleeping.
Mhm.
I'm processing
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah. Me
And
too.
so I have to be intentional, and often, no judgments here. I love videos of little puppies and kittens. And somebody recently told us to look at the videos of the little goats, the pygmy
Oh yeah.
goats
Yeah.
jumping around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Or
so
sheep, little baby sheep.
yes, right? So I mean, I can't even talk about it without smiling, right? Just talking about it brings it up in my mind and brings me warmth and happiness. And so making sure that I'm intentional about when I might do that or how I might do that. And because there's an array of things we can tap into in our lives, but being really intentional and thoughtful and in that moment about what brings me joy, what helps me to feel good, even if I'm dealing with other tough stuff. And I think about that at funerals. Often people come in and tell funny stories about their person who died, because it is so important to remember those times too, not just the tough times. So, yeah. So being intentional. So think about yourself, and I'm looking for my paper. Here it is. We have a little curriculum. I ripped off a little piece of that paper, but to think about, and just maybe spend some time just noticing what does make me smile when I'm sitting at school, or I'm at recess, or I'm watching TV. Why choose this thing to watch? And does that bring me joy? Or sitting with your grandparent or sitting with your grandchild, right? Just observing yourself and what that is. What are some other reflective questions that you can think of, Suzanne?
Um, well, let's see. Reflective questions. Um,
You said memories
yeah,
and
and I think observation, and I think that's one thing about when you draw pictures, which is what we're going to move into, what is that
yeah.
you're more observant of what's happening around you. You might notice that bird sitting on the fence, or you might notice, for me, it's noticing the shapes and the colors of the sky and the ground. And I think that's because I paint landscapes, or at least I attempt it. And so those things notice that I notice. So it could be, around in your environment.
Do you want to share with us? Did you do a couple
I did.
smiles?
Yeah, I did. So lots of times when kids will get these smiles, they think that they have to make something out of the smile. Well, maybe the smile is just there. So like I said, I'm a painter, and I'm really trying to
Right.
improve my paintings. So I'm noticing those shapes of the clouds. And as a kid, I grew up in a small town, and there was a cornfield behind our house. And I used to go out and lay in the cornfield and look at the shapes of the clouds, and imagine that they were like dogs or cats or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've always been a sky watcher. So anyway, so this is my smile of a landscape and so I just colored the landscape and let the smile float in it, rather than trying to make the smile into. And then another thing, I'm one that I still hang my clothes on the clothesline to dry,
Oh,
and
I
I
love
love
it.
it. I mean, I'm sure my neighbors think that it's a bit strange, but I love it. So when I see somebody else's laundry hanging on the clothesline, then it makes me smile. And also, I guess it also brings back my childhood memories, because we
Uh,
always hung up, the laundry
yeah.
outside. So yeah,
You
so
must
just
love going to Europe, because all across Europe, they don't dry their clothes. They hang them out on
that's
those
right.
lines,
In
and I
fact,
love it.
yeah, one of
Yeah.
my last paintings is somebody's laundry on their clothesline. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So I do. I
that's
like,
great.
that's something that I like. But if you're thinking about smiling, you might think there's the difference between smiling and laughing.
Yeah.
It maybe not be funny, but it just gives you joy. So when we think
Yeah.
about smiling, we're thinking about, something that gives you joy, not necessarily that it has to make you laugh at it. Although jokes are, definitely a part of smiling, and part of Laugh Fest, an important part.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just activities with your family, little things that you might do with your family, sitting on your grandparents' lap, going out to dinner, sitting in the
Yeah.
backyard, playing baseball with your dad or mom.
Yeah.
Could be mom too, couldn't it?
It could.
It was
Yeah.
in my house, yeah.
Your parent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the questions you have in here is like, what stories does your family tell or your friend group tell when you get together? And I love that, because in our family, we love to tell the silly stories about what happened, when the kids were younger, or when, whatever. We love to tell those stories and just laugh at ourselves and, at those situations. And it's always just brings so much joy.
Mhm.
And sometimes that piece of uncontrollable laughter, which is just so satisfying when that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to share with you guys just a couple other. We've had some schools in our area that have shared these smiles with the students, and then our kids right here that attend our program have done that. And so here's one from a Noogie Lander, and they just put, all
Jewels.
kinds of jewels and
Yeah.
sparkly things all over it. It's probably a 1-year-old that did this, or maybe a 2-year-old. So that's kind of fun.
And it might not have been just the jewels and the shapes and things, but that child had enjoyment and smiled because they were doing it. So the
Yes.
act of doing it could be as joyful as the finished product.
Yes, I agree. That's great. So here, this is really funny. It says hike, lions, touchdown. So this person evidently loves football. So that's what they did. Big smile. And maybe it's a helmet, I think. It's a good possibility.
That's the helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the guard across the face.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Good
So
one.
then this one is funny because I think it shows a lot of emotion, and then if you look really close, they're holding a little horse hand in their hand. So probably playing with their horses or their stuffed horses or whatever is enjoyable to them. And then a cat.
Yep.
Yep. I like how they did the ears up here.
I do
kind of
too.
clever. Yeah.
Creative. Yeah.
So, and then some
great
people,
nose and mouth.
oh yes, and that reminds me of the Augustus's mouth.
Yeah.
Remember at the end, he actually had, I mean, that's the way a cat's face is, but it looked like two smiles. Do you remember that? Yeah. And then this person, I think, wasn't as comfortable in drawing. They did a little bit of drawing, but they just wrote a whole bunch of things that just make them smile. And so some of it says my dad's jokes. That's kind of fun. My dad used to always say, we'd say, how long till we get there, Dad? We were on some vacation or something. Skate-8. That was his answer for everything.
Skate-8.
Skate-8. And we're like, really? And then when we were young kids, we would sing Found a Penny, or just these great songs in the car. Always so much fun. But playing with my best friend, making funny faces and voices, snuggling. I like this.
Yeah.
It's fun. So dogs, anyway. So those are some of the examples, and you can choose to do what you want to do. And if you don't have one of these smiles, you always could come to Gilda's and get one, or you
could
draw
on a piece of paper.
Yeah. On a piece of paper.
My granddaughter chose not to draw on this, but she chose to just draw it on a big piece of paper, which was fine.
That's right. And then you could inspire maybe your family or friends to do it the same way and share it with each other. And if you want to share it with us, we would love that. You can just take a picture of it and send it to us, or email, whatever works. So, well, excellent. I'm so happy that you joined us, Suzanne, and I'm so grateful for all of your work at Gilda's. Yeah. And
that's my happy place. So I get a smile when I come, because everybody there has a smile.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. We appreciate that. So if any of you out there, again, are new to Gilda's Club or new to a cancer or grief journey, and would like to know more about our free support program, please give us a call, 453-8300, or look on our website, gildasclubgr.org. And don't forget, today is the opening day of Laugh Fest, and we have lots of activities that are happening. We have kids joke time on Saturday morning, I believe, here at the clubhouse. We also have laughter yoga. Now, it sounds a little silly, but it is so much fun. And did you guys know that you can burn more calories laughing in 5 minutes than sometimes running.
Oh, that's
I
good.
know. And Angela, who is our laughter yoga person, it's not actually doing actual yoga. It's really just having a lot of fun. She's amazing. So if you even have the inkling thought about doing it, come on over and sign up for it. Do it. And it's all free of charge. And then there's lots of ticketed events and all kinds of things. If you want to know more about Laugh Fest and you want to either volunteer or go to a show, look it up on laughfestgr.org. Or you can just go to the Gilda's Club website and click through to the Laugh Fest website. So that would be great. I see that we have a chat. 5 day. I had the wrong amount of times. We're 5 days, and this is our 12th year. Numbers obviously are not my thing all the time. So thank you for that, Hannah. And then I think, we're just excited to continue our program, both virtually and in person. Most of our groups are hybrid, and we're working more and more towards just that straight up in-person time. We'd love to see you. If you haven't been involved in your group and you're wondering how that goes, again, just contact us. We'll help you get connected. So I think that's all I have for today. And Suzanne, again, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Be well, everyone. Find your smile like Augusta. No. What was his name? There you go.
There's
What
my
was that
smile.
tiger's name again?
Augustus.
Augustus. I did have it right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Well,
your smile. And I have
there's
my
my
new
smile.
Laugh Fest shirt on.
Yep.
Very nice. All right. So we'll see everyone next time. Take care. Be well. Get outside. Bye.
That's where I'm going.